All right, I thought I would just do an impromptu video about using cartridges for pens. Okay, so these are straight from the vendor, and I want to just re-sanitize these because even though they claim they are sanitized, I prefer to do it myself. So what you'll need, of course, is your cartridges that came in this pack, like so. You need a basically to remove the plunger. So the plunger is that little I guess little dark rubber piece at the bottom here. You just gotta pop that in and push air into the vial to push it out. And then what you do is you'll put those two pieces in a brand new sealed sterilized package like so. Once it's in here, then you would put it into your crock pot to sterilize. And that's the purpose of this. Just we want to make sure that what we're using is actually sterilized. So we'll go ahead and do all that. So here, I'm just going to rip this open. It doesn't really matter how you rip it open, just rip it open. And so I already sanitized all this with 70% alcohol spray. So that's done. So you can see I'm just pushing the stopper in here to loosen it up. See, so you can see now it moved. And then what we'll do is we'll inject air into this and it'll push the stopper all the way out. And that's what we want. So I'm just going to repeat the process for all of them and come back when that's all said and done. The stopper out is I already got a syringe, put the needle on there, and I'm just going to pull back as much as I can. I will insert this into the top here of the cartridge. When I push down, you're going to start seeing this move, and sometimes one deposit of air from the syringe is enough to get it to go, and so you can kind of see it starting to make its way there, hopefully. Yep, it's starting to make its way, and you can see there, and there it is. So it came out. Okay, next step is you take your new sterilized package, and right at the bottom here is a little lip. So this is where you're gonna put the cartridge in. So you can see that. So I just sort of try and manipulate this a little bit. Put your cartridge in first with the rubber stopper down, like so. And the key is now you kind of want to have the stoppers be kind of close to them, because you're going to try and insert the stoppers with the package still closed once it's finished sterilizing. That's going to be kind of the tricky bit. So like so, and then just kind of like push them down a little bit. And so how you seal this now is you actually remove this little, there's a little strip here. Hopefully you can see that okay, but I'll show you in a second. This little strip, remove that. And then on the dotted line here, you're just kind of like folding along there, and you're kind of crimping that shut. So it looks like this now. Okay, so I got my two packages ready with my cartridges and stoppers removed, or the little plunger, I guess, removed, whatever it's called. Inside the crock pot, you're basically just going to put in a cup of water. I have some water in here from a previous pack, so I'm just going to remove that. Brake is going to be at the bottom, and that's just going to alleviate any water from hitting the actual packages of sterilized. You don't want the package to get wet, basically. So this there's a little bit of a gap here that you could put enough water where it stays underneath this metal grate. Right. So you put your packages in. Don't try and give them space so they're not sort of on top of each other. You add this back. I can never figure out how to close this properly. There you go. Close it shut, and then you're just gonna put on the meat stew and let it be. It'll count down on its own. It'll pressure on its own, and once it's all said and done, we'll come back and, oh, there you go, it's already on. And I'll show you how to sort of manipulate the stoppers that we took out to go back inside the cartridge. I just wanted to resume the sterilization of the cartridges, which is finished now. So I basically just emptied this out, took the cartridges out, and I left them on a drying rack for a day or two because these come out a little bit wet. And this is sort of the finished product here. So you can see the rubber stoppers have been pushed back in, and how I did that. So basically, it's not that complicated. It's gonna involve a little bit of like jigging around. Hopefully you can see that. You just have to kind of, see? Just kind of have to mess around with where they are and then just push it in that way before you open the pack. This way we ensure that the inside of the cartridge remains sterile. So see, this one's gonna be a little bit of a pain just because of where it is, but it's gonna have to, you know, mess around with it a little bit so we get it to where it's gotta be, which is almost there. There we go. And there you go. So now these are officially sterilized. So the next step at this point would be, obviously, you have your supplies ready, you're going to reconstitute whatever peptide you're going to use, and you would then start, you know, using the alcohol swab to sterilize the top of this. Once your solution's ready to go, you inject it in here, put it into the pen, and take it from there. So I'll stop the video here because this was really more about just sterilizing these and not about reconstituting the peptide or how to fill these. If there's interest, maybe I can do another video on that. But for now, I think this is good, good enough for now. So thanks all for watching. And if you need any other videos, let me know. I'll think about maybe perhaps doing a few more of these if this is well received. Thanks.